Hello all, and well, happy Halloween. um, it's like, I never used to bother with, I never used to bother with Halloween since I was a kid. Like that was the last time that I used to really pay much attention to it. But seeing in sort of like doing these videos and that, I thought I'd maybe just do something for Halloween. Um, so it's just a fun making up videos as I go along kind of thing. What I'll do is I'm going to go for a wee drive to Templeton Woods, and then I'll use the dash cam, go for a wee walk in the pitch dark using the infrared camera, see if we can see some ghosts and witches and stuff. Then I'll get the turn up in the candle, do all that. That'll be later on though, it's just a wee bit late at the moment. But what I'll do is I'll turn this camera around and I'll show you my effort, my Halloween effort. Okay, I'll turn the camera around. Okay, now, it's been a wee while, or a very long time since I've done this. This video is just making it up as I go along and just literally winging it. So what I've done is I just bet at Tesco's, bought a turnip. It's a bit small, I know. But I got a spare. One of the candles, but that's all I had, so I got these tea candles. And I got a handful of, I went to the toolbox, just grabbed a handful of tools that would look the part to do something with this turnip. And the lighter for the light the candles. So this is just a Joey setup. The camera, I've not got my friend to film me at the moment. So what I've done is I've just got a belt wrapped around my chest, and I'm going to somehow try and hold this camera while I'm showing you what I'm doing. I'll just pause this for the moment. The idea is, as I say, I'm just making them up as I go along. I'm absolutely exhausted. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning driving the buses on an early shift. So this is the best I could come up with just now. Just didn't have the time. I mean, this video might not go out until tomorrow. This is obviously past Halloween. I would like to get it out tonight, but it's all about time. I mean, I was working this morning and I had things to do, so... But I'm making the effort anyway, so you can have a laugh at it if you want. It's just a fun video. Right, I'll just have to rig this up for a minute, so I'll pause this for a moment. Right, so what I've done is I've rigged this, sort of strapped this to my chest, so you could see kind of what I'm doing. My dad and brother are busy, they're out at the moment, so I've not really got anybody to have the camera while I'm doing this. So, I've not done this for a long time, this is just a bit of fun. First thing you want to do is get a screwdriver and just go like that for a bit of laugh, just to see that all go through. So that's to get some sort of eyes. Well, let's think now. I'm going to cut the top of it. We'll use this hacksaw. Silence of the Lambs, Hannibal Lecter comes to mind if you've seen that film. That wouldn't be the best way of doing this, no. I can smell the turnip. Makes me want to cook this now. Maybe I've got too much off. As I say, it's been a wee while since I've done this. I've not got a plan either, I'm just literally winging this. I do remember doing this about 30 odd years ago, in the 80s. Dad used to help me do this. I used to go guising and everything. Penny for the geyser. So I'm trying to hollow this out. Let's see. Not really making a difference, really. This I know it's pathetic, but it's just pure effort, really. I've not thought of any. I've never planned it out. I just literally winging this and filming it at the same time. You could have a good laugh at it while I'm doing it if you want, because it's just fun. I'm not really bothered about it too much. But it's probably the first time since the 80s, 30 odd years ago. Whoops, camera's moved. A little setup. Get it back again. Scoop this inside. Oh, it's on the floor. Making more mess than anything else. Just making these wee bits that keep on at the same time and try to watch. Nice. Right. This will be the eye. The room is smelling a turnip though. Didn't want to do that. Never mind. This is good enough for me. Keeps on split, unfortunately. I know it's pathetic, it's a laugh, it's not, it's just a bit of fun, it's nothing, I'm no expert at it. I know there's people out there that do a much better job than this. They haven't even got a big enough carrot, it's just, I just went into Spar, as I say, I've finished the early, so I just went to Spar, just picked up the first carrot, grabbed a load of these candles, scooped the inside out. Bit of candle, tea candle, that's all I did, didn't have the other candles. Grab one of these lighters, tea candles, light it, without burning my fingers, without setting fire to the house. Stick it in there, turn the light out, and well, there's, well, that's an effort I suppose, isn't it? Right, I'll pause this for a moment just to watch the memory on the phone. And I'll turn it around as well, okay? Right, so I've took the camera off my the strap that's on my chest, so I could show you a bit. I don't know what it's just, well, have a laugh at it. I don't know what it was. So what I'll do is I'll I'll go to Templeton Woods later on tonight when it gets dark, and I'll light this back up again and I'll get the infrared camera, etc. But on the way there I'll probably stop off at the at the garage and get a coffee and whatever Halloween cakes they've got there. I'll just nip into the garage and grab a cake and a latte, a Halloween cake and a latte, and I'll sit and eat that, and then we'll head to Templeton Woods. So it's going to be a bit like, I'll start the dash cam from Minesall Community Centre. In fact, I'll just turn this off a moment and I'll speak to you properly, okay, if you give me a moment. Yeah, so what I've done is as you can see, I've put it out just now, just to save the smoke alarm going off. Right, so once it gets dark, as I say, I'm going to start the drive from the Minesall Community Centre. That's where I'll do the drive from, because I'm not doing it from my house. So you'll know where Minesall Community Centre, that's a well-known place in Minesall. So start the drive from there. So it's just a bit like a virtual, I suppose it's like a virtual night out. I guess you could maybe look on it like that. I mean, what I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to start off from there. Then you're going to see the journey to Templeton Woods via I've got to get petrol, and I'll grab a Halloween cake if they've got one, and a latte, and I'll have that. Then up to the woods, light the thing, do the wee walk with the camera, the infrared camera, and then I'll drive back to the Minesall Community Centre. So it's a wee bit like as if you were there. It's as if I was picking you up from the Minesall Community Centre and you were tagging along with us, basically. So it's just going to be a video from the start to where I'm going and then back again. And then it'd be like me dropping you off. So it's a bit like that. So, yeah, you could tag along with us for Halloween, basically. See, I've never really bothered with Halloween. And, well, the last time, as I say, was in the 80s. So I just making a wee effort because of doing the videos and that this year. So, okay. So, I'll pause this now and you'll see me on the next clip, wherever that'll be. I'll be probably either when it's setting off or if I've got something else to add for this. Either way, you'll see us later on. Okay. Hello, right. So that's us now at the Minesall Community Centre. So this is like, you could say the virtual tour, if you like. Again. So this would be like you would just come in here. So I'm going to start here and end back here. So from here, I'm going to go to the petrol station, see the car, get petrol, and then I'll see what Halloween cakes they've got. I'll get a coffee. Then I'll sit and eat that and blather away. Then from the garage, petrol station, to Templeton Woods. And then I'll get my creation later on. I'll get that lit. And then from Templeton Woods, I'll come back here again, and that's where I'll round off the video. Okay, it's actually a nice night. The moon's out, the full moon is out. Let's see if we could. Maybe I should turn the camera. It seems to just keep clouding over, but the full moon was really bright. It's a really nice one. So if I get that up at the woods, that'll be really good. So I'm absolutely knackered now. It's what's that? 20 to 7. I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning. So. I've not had anything to eat since about 9 o'clock, so I'm looking forward to my cake and my coffee. So I'm going to set the dash cam up, by the way, so you'll get so basically it's just like if you were in the car, you could see the route to Templeton Woods. So this is from the Minesall Community Centre, and you'll get the dash cam footage from here to the petrol station, then from the petrol station to the Templeton Woods, and then from the Templeton Woods back to here again. Okay, so you'll see the dash cam footage on the next clip. Okay, thanks, cheers. Right, that's me stopped at the BP garage, and I've got my coffee. I'm going to have my Halloween cake. So that's one thing you won't be able to share. I can't share this cake with you, unfortunately, unless you were actually here. But you could just, if there was such a thing as taste-o-vision or smell-o-vision or whatever, then you would get an idea. But you could sort of like, I hope you've got something. I hope you've got something with you anyway. If you're sitting watching this in the house, I hope you've got your feet up and something nice to eat with it, bit of cake or something. But that's the Halloween cake that I've got. So, It's been what, 11 hours since I've ate anything. It's been a busy day. And sort of doing a balancing act here. I've got this camera balanced on the selfie stick while I'm eating. I'm going to try to show you the creation that I've done earlier. It's a bit of it's a bit of a circus act, this. Try to do all this at once. So, yeah, the moon's out tonight. Although it keeps clouding over. It sort of comes out, then it clouds over, and then it comes out again, and seems to happen a lot. Sort of thing, a little. This thing keeps moving. I've got both hands on it. The car smells a turn up, by the way. So I've got this along. You'll get this lit up at Templeton Woods. But before all that, let's get this finished there. I've always liked cake. Yeah, Halloween. It's well, it's back in the 80s. I used to look forward to going about the houses and that, doing the penny for a geezer or something like that. It's just penny for the guy or something. An old tradition we used to do. I remember the money that It was just like, my mates used to do. It was a good few of us. We used to kind of like split the money, So that was a lot of money for me back then. I used to spend it on sweeties and stuff. Yeah, I don't know the full origins of it. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff about Halloween, supernatural, and all that sort of stuff. I don't necessarily believe in that, but then I don't disbelieve it either. Supernaturals. Where's the moon, by the way? Let's see if we can show you. Oh, come on. I won't bother because I'll hit to reset all that. But, yeah, it's whether you believe in supernatural. I mean, I'm not disbelieving or believing it. I mean, witches and all that sort of thing is like folklore stories, folklore or something, some ancient sort of stuff about the Halloween and that. And for me, it was just fun back in the early 80s and that when I was a kid. And then you just kind of grow out of it. I don't miss the cake. I mean, cake was... I never grew out of that. I love the cake. But, yeah, it's... You grow out of it, like, yeah. Well, I did anyway. But... That's delicious. I say this is the first time I've done it since the 80s. I've actually done an effort for Halloween. Terminology anyway, just as far as I can remember. I don't think I've done anything significant before after that until now. I mean, if you could call this significant, for me it is, because it's like actually going on my way to make an effort for it, for the video. Just showing you what I do, or what I'm doing on this 2020 31st October. Oh, it's delicious. But the supernatural stuff that I personally believe in firsthand is the what they call the Mandela effect. But as I say, every time on my videos, if you've heard me talk about it before, I always say, if you're interested, do your own research and come to your own conclusions on it, if you're interested. And I'll say that all the time. Because it's really up to us what we make of it. I mean, I experienced it, and I experience it as well. And well, I'm still experiencing it. I've experienced it before I've done the research on it. But that's when I came across the name, the Mandela effect. But there's a few things ones that I've come across, like the magnetic stones. I didn't know that any stone could be picked up by a magnet until very recently. What else? I've got a wee list of them. So yeah, I've not actually rehearsed anything here. I'm just gonna... There's a few of them. Montefiore stones, I mean, I came across them standing stones at the beach. They weren't there before. Although, I'm talking about Mandela effect style. I mean, like, if you go back history, they've always been there. But obviously, this is going to sound bizarre to those that don't know what the Mandela effect is. If you've got a base understanding, you'll know where I'm coming from. But for me, it's certainly they weren't there until very recently. I mean, I've been to that beach lots of times, at the Montefiore Marina Drive, and I would have noticed them. You know, I could not have missed them. So, the other thing is, the clocks go back an hour at the end of October, and then they go forward again at the end of April. No, sorry, tell a lie, at the end of March. Well, as bizarre as it sounds, it doesn't sort of like add up and make any sense, but it was always, for me, it used to be 6 months apart. You know, it was always 6 months of the summer and then 6 months of the winter. You know, that's when the clocks would, the time between changing the clocks. But it's not now. It's 7 months for the winter. No, sorry. 7 months for the summer and 5 months for the winter. It wasn't like that for me before. But if you go back history, it's always been at the end of the 31st of the second last Saturday in October. So it wouldn't really make it couldn't be mathematically possible for it to be 6 months apart, but that sticks clearly in my mind that it was 6 months apart. But mathematically it's impossible if it's like the end of October and at the end of March. Again, Mandela effect phenomena is very bizarre in its own right. The other thing for me is that the longest day of the year, summer solstice, was the 21st of June. And that was it. It was always the 21st of June. But now it varies. It's sort of like, it could be the 20th. You know, and then if you check history, it's always been like that. It's always varied, but you know, it's always been like the 20th. But for me, it was always the 21st. So that sounds, but as I say, if you don't know what the Mandela effect is, it'll just be like, it won't make sense to you. But if you've got a base understanding, then you'll have an idea where I'm coming from. And I'm a true believer in it because I've experienced it firsthand. So what I'm going to do is watch this time in memory on the phone there. I'll get myself up to Tentsmuir Woods. You'll see the dash cam on the next take from the journey from the BP garage on the Kingsway to, Templeton Woods, not Tentsmuir Woods. Templeton Woods. That's where I'm going. If I've said Tentsmuir Woods earlier in the video, it's a mistake. It's Templeton Woods that I'm going to. That's at the back of Camperdown at Muirhead. So let's get on with it. Okay, so you'll see the dash cam next. Thanks. Right, that's us at the moods now, and the moon is out, so I'm going to quickly turn this camera around so you can see it before it disappears. Okay. So it's very windy here, and you just make out well, you'll see the moon, the glow through the trees and that. Yeah, quite impressive, eh? And that's up ahead. Templeton Woods. Okay, right, that's the turn up lit. Took a few efforts because it is very windy here. Before I go any further, let's make sure I've got keys. It's just because it's so windy, it's dark, I've got to try and figure out what's. I do a lot of stuff at the one time while it's starting to go up. Great. Nah, it's gone out. Damn. I ought to relight it. Right, so, take two. You can hear stuff moving around, it's rustling a bit, it's pretty creepy like. Right, I got it relit. So, there it is. I don't know how long it's going to last. What's happened is the candle keeps moving about inside and it starts to burn up the wrong way. But it is damp around here, all the leaves and everything are damp, but if you're lighting anything, you got to be very careful when you're playing a bit with fire and that in the woods. But this will obviously be going out. There's nothing to it, but so this is Halloween. Blooming thing. It's just that lens cover thing keeps on. That's it now. There we go. So I'll switch this camera on to infrared shortly. In fact, I'll zoom into the moon again. It seems to appear through the trees and the cloud there. It's well, I'll change this to infrared actually. Right. I've got my torch as well. Gosh, there's a lot of mud about here. That's the problem when it's so dark. You can't really see exactly what you're standing on. Get the torch. That's better. Ah, it's gone out again. It's gone out again. The wind's blew out. There's maybe the candles. Let's see what's going on here. It's just the these candles are the old cheapos. They're not very good. They don't last very long, but anyway. It's just I'm trying to watch this mud. If I weren't for the fact I was up so early this morning, I may have stayed up till past midnight and took a walk across the so-called haunted Balgay Bridge, but I'll be too tired to do that at night. In fact, this video will probably not go out until tomorrow, so it'll be a late Halloween. But there's not really much there's not much I could do about it. I mean, in working shifts and that, I've just got to make do with what I've got. I just didn't have the time to do everything, so I've just got to wing it and do the best I can, mate. So yeah, supernatural stuff. It's fascinating subject. Like, I mean, when I was at the school, primary school, I used to love all these haunted stories and Halloween, and it was just fascinating. It was exciting, really exciting. Guy Fawkes as well, that was exciting, but the ghost stories and all that, you know, it was really exciting. Oh, I think you can see the moon again. Changes to the colour. See if that'll. Right, what I'll do is I'll get the car locked up, I'll get the lights off, and I'll go for a short walk just up that trail and see if I can see any ghosts and witches and all sorts of. See if I can get it on camera for you. But before I do anything, I'll make sure that there's nothing hot lying around, any flames. I'll put this away once I've locked up the car. So there's nothing, there's no any armours around. Just, you've got to be careful obviously when you're lighting any flames, naked flames in a wooded area. I mean, this is all damp anyway, and it's in a controlled manner. So, but you just obviously got to have your wits about you. There's all this woods and that. You don't want any problems with fire. Right, so I'll get this car switched. I'll get all the lights off and locked up, and I'll go for a wee walk up there with the infrared camera. Just a wee ghost hunt sort of thing, for Halloween. Okay, I'll switch this off and then I'll put it back on once I've locked up. Okay, right, cheers. Okay, right, that's the car locked. I've left the parking lights on, the side lights on, just so that as a marker, and it's also a good idea to do that just so that if anybody be itchy or was it sticky fingers or something sees a car in the middle of nowhere, well, it's not quite in them, it's dark, and they know there's nobody in it, then itchy fingers, I think, whatever it is. But it's a good idea to leave the interior light off and the side lights on, so that it's difficult for anybody to tell whether there's somebody in the car or not. You know, if it's in here in the middle of nowhere, and you know, they could temptation to see anything, they might break in. But if you've got lights on, it kind of deters. They don't know it's a security light sort of thing, and it's also a marker for me as well. Right, now it says no parking, but I'm miles away from that gate and not actually going up through with the vehicle, so it's not causing I'm not going far anyway, so it's not causing any obstructions. So I'm just going to, gosh, it's so muddy, it's just unbelievable. I just hope that's all it is. Right, I'll walk up this path a wee bit. So I've got the moon, it's kind of like shifted over a wee bit now from where I'm standing. You don't really see it unless you go further in. Obviously it's orbiting, so it moves. And earlier on I was able to see it at that angle, but not now. So it's not overly late, but it's still quite scary. Like, the number one thing is obviously common sense. You know, you don't want to be, you don't know who's out there, like, so that's one thing, and then you don't know who's out there and what their intentions are. So that's the number one thing. But and of course, second of all, you don't know what you're walking on. You don't want to twist an ankle or anything like that, because it's pitch dark. Yeah, so I definitely believe in the supernatural. I've experienced it, the Mandela effect as they call it, online. Oh, I can see a light over there. I wonder if that's somebody's torch, or is that something reflecting? You might be able to see that. If it is somebody, I don't want to annoy them, but I guess maybe I wouldn't like it. If that's somebody, I wouldn't like somebody pointing a camera at me, so I'll just leave them be. Could be a Actually, every time I move the camera, the light, it goes away. When I shine the light, it comes on, so it's reflective. It's maybe one of these marker signs, you know, the poles with the signs. Gosh, you can hear you hear noises, even though it's windy. I like the wind. It's actually better with the wind. It kind of like breaks the silence. I was thinking of going as far as the water tower, but it's just for the length of the video and the battery and memory. I do hear things moving a bit, but that's obviously the wind. Primary, that's your first thing, the wind, leaves, branches, and then of course we've got wildlife in, there's other people, it's a public place, so there could be other people doing exactly what I'm doing. So it's just when you're in the dark, it kind of like, you hear the trees creaking a wee bit, but then you would hear that during the day. So it's just because it's dark and you don't know what's out there, it's unknown. That's what's a good thing, because it keeps your guard up. What the heck, this is coming off the track here, it's muddy here. Jeez, poops. Obviously it's, I left the turn up back of the car. I don't think that would frighten off very many ghosts and witches. It's pretty pathetic. I mean, that wee bit of candle in the last 2 minutes, it was just well, it was an effort. It's better than nothing. At least the sweat here, oh no, right in the puddle. That is you know what made it disguise? It's because all the pine needles was over it. It's all the pine needles. You think it's the ground, it's no, it's blooming water, it's needles floating on the water. Jeez, I want to remember that. What size it? Well, I'm lucky it didn't go into my shoes anyway. Heck. Blooming heck. What am I doing coming out here on Halloween? God, miles away now for the car, it seems a distance away. Well, I was thinking of going to the... maybe no, I don't know, maybe going far enough. I've got to watch for the length of the video, the battery, the memory, and my blooming nerves, because the further in you go, the further away you go from the car, that's the more nervous you get. I feel kind of more exposed to the unknown, because obviously you hear things moving. That's maybe a deer or a rabbit. But it's just good, because all I'm doing now is just moving the torch 270 degrees all around, just looking around all over, just all around us, just keeping my guard up, because you see a puddle coming up again. God, this mud, it's so annoying. I'm gonna get caught all this time. The tail light on my car is virtually gone now, so I won't get lost because I just stay on this track. And then every time, that's kind of like out of sight now, nearly, and that's when I really feel cut off. That's when the old heart rate starts going up. Alright, I've probably gone far enough. I don't know, I don't actually know, I'm not genned up on this path, I don't know how far it is to the water tower, but I know the area roughly, but I don't really know, I don't know like the back of my hand all these trails. And I don't really know just how far I am, so it could just be up there, it could be a good bit further, but I'm kind of like just going to turn and go back now. I think I've had enough of it. So yeah, I'm just going to head back. That's enough for me, I think. That's that torch battery going. And I keep seeing flashes up in the head, but I'm facing the other way. These flashes that I'm seeing are car lights between the trees. God, I better get back anyway, because this battery is starting to... It's an LED type battery, and when they go flat, it doesn't just dim, it just kind of goes off. and then after that I've got nothing. So time to get back to the car, I think. So 8 minutes. Yeah, Mandela effect and a true believer. Time speeding up is another one. Ghosts, well, I've always had a... See, ghosts is like a form of energy, maybe. I don't know. But I don't disbelieve in any of it. I've got an open mind. And that's that puddle I got caught all wee on the way, so I'm going this side this time. I don't know if I trip over any of these or slip. God, every time I'm always looking back because I keep getting that feeling that there's something behind us. It's scary. Oh, that's a light. It's a car light. See, when it flashes between the trees, you get a sudden. So I don't know how much you're seeing on this camera because that's up ahead. That's looking up ahead. So you don't see much. You can really only see what this light torch is reflecting off it, which is the ground. So the trees, it's not really a powerful enough torch or camera to pick up the trees. I get a bit more comfortable the closer I get to my car, the more comfortable I feel. But still a wee bit. Aye, so folklore, all these old stories, witches and witchcraft and all that stuff. I don't know much about that. I'm not really joined up on it. I certainly am a believer in that there's a lot more to what there's, well, a lot more to life. And as I say, I've first hand experienced the Mandela effect, as they call it online. Plus lots of other things like the speed up with time. Bizarre coincidences, synchronicity, you know. I feel so much better. I didn't go that far, it's not big, but let's just watch this time because there's a load of mud here. My feet will be filthy. Right. Oh, there's a moon out again. I'll put this in colour, see if you could. Yeah, I think that'll do now for this. I'm just going to gather up the, well, not much, I just left that there just to cool down a bit. I didn't want to put anything, just left it there, so I'll take this part with me now. There's nothing hot, so we don't obviously want to be lighting any fires or naked candles in the car. I mean, that's just madness. You know, obviously with fuel and that, so you make sure you're careful what you're doing with it. Yeah, I'm going to have to get equipment that's a bit better than this. I wouldn't mind having a pair of night vision goggles actually. Jeez, the size of that slug. That's another one. Right, that'll do then now, we'll put it back in the car. Okay, see you in a bit. Right, this is back in the car now. was quite windy out there. So what you'll see next is the dashcam footage back to Mooneysill Community Centre, where they'd be virtually dropping you off if you like, because that's where the video will end. Just a good tip or advice if you're sitting in a car like this when it's dark and there's nobody else and you're alone in the car and you've got the light on, lock the doors, because anybody out there that's got not in good intentions will see that there's nobody else in the car. So have the engine, key ignition, doors locked, and just have something handy should you need it. Just to be, peace of mind. Yeah, quite scary. Bit of fun as well. The turn up, that's all packed away. That's just, because the candles that were quite shallow. It wasn't really the best candles to use. That's all I had. That's all I had in the store. So I just had to make do with that. I didn't have time to go hunting around, so I just picked them up. They were shallow, and what happened is that the wick burnt down into the candle, and because it was sitting at an angle, it just extinguished. So you saw a wee bit of it anyway. At least I made the effort. And I went for that wee walk with the infrared camera. Well, I never saw the moon, but it's coming out again. It's quite bright. It's really impressive. Make that out now. Might see it. It's maybe not very. It's just don't know why I turn it around again. So that'll do then. It's time to get back. So you'll see the dash cam next, okay? Okay, cheers. Okay, so that's us all back, or us back, safe and sound, back to the Meenassil Community Centre. And, well, hope you've enjoyed sharing my Halloween, or what I done on Halloween 2020. Well, I made an effort anyway for you, so I just made up as I go on. I didn't have any set plan as such. I mean, I was up at 4 this morning, I was working shifts, and I had other stuff to do, and I just thought, well, I'll pop into the Spar, pick up what there is. There wasn't any pumpkins, so I just got a turnip. I didn't have any of the dog candles, so I just had to make do with the tea candles. So I just picked up them, and then, as you saw how I made the guy, the turnip, you saw us scooping it out earlier, so yeah, bit of fun. I didn't see any witches or ghosts, but well, it's all in the mind, isn't it? Or is it? Well, who knows. But it was windy as anything, like really breezy. I would have, as I say, if it wasn't for the fact I was up so early this morning, I may have stretched a midnight walk across the haunted bridge at Balgay cementry, or Balgay Hill. But I'm just a bit sleeping here. I've still got all this to tidy away, then I've not had a tea yet. So, but that cake I had earlier, that was nice. That filled the tank up a wee bit just to see us through till we get the tea put on, probably about 10 o'clock, by the time I unload all this onto the laptop, etc. But anyway, yeah, it was something to do, was it? So, yeah, go back into the 1980s, it was great fun. I mean, you used to look forward to it. You know, there's a build-up when I was in school, the classrooms. We all talked about it. It was the build-up for it, you know. We were going out Halloween, going out Guysing, or whatever it's called. And we got the pennies, which was a lot, you know, when you're a kid like that. It's felt like a lot of money, so we just split it up between us. Another thing we used to do when it wasn't Halloween is we used to collect these glass bottles with the 10p deposit. We used to go around asking if you got any bottles. And we collected them, then we took it to the shop to get the refund of money for the bottles. So maybe 10 or 15 bottles, and like maybe 2 or 3 of us would collect, and then they just split the money up. 150, 50p each. But in the 80s, you know, you get a lot of sweeties and stuff like. Maybe you got more. Eh? We used to just, you know, it was good fun. But it's changed times now. Things aren't quite the same. There's more virtual stuff, digital computers, and it's just you're gonna get the same atmosphere now. Kids, I used to see them playing about. I think it's all games and, you know, social media networks. It's all different. Ken, listen to me, it's showing my age. I'm only 45. So, but no, it's true. I do see the difference. Like, Ken. Anyway, I'm going to end the video there. Thanks for tagging along with us. Well, this video probably won't go out tonight, but it'll be a happy late Halloween then if you're seeing it tomorrow. Okay. Right, take care. Cheers. Bye now.